Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. So this is the second part of the video that we are making. So in the first part you would have learned how to make the orange coasters. In today's video you'll learn how to add the cute little leaves on the top and also how to make the basket to hold these coasters. The link on the tutorial on how to make the coasters will be available in the description of this video, so do refer to the description part as well. The description will also have details on the yarn used, the hook size and all the things needed for today's project. So here in the previous part we have already made the coaster. Now we're going to add the leaf. So to do that, using a green yarn, we are going to make a slip knot. Now here I'm using a hook of 3.5 mm, and it's a smaller size hook compared to the one that we're going to use for the basket. So you can insert this hook right in the middle of one of the sections and into the last round, and just pull through any of the stitch, and then we're going to make a chain of 9. So chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, chain 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now starting from the second chain of the hook, we're going to start making the leaf. So into the second chain from the hook, that is the first and second, here you're going to first make a slip stitch. After that you're going to make one single crochet in the next stitch, one half double crochet in the next stitch, one double crochet in the next stitch, one more double crochet in the next stitch, one half double crochet in the next stitch, one single crochet in the next stitch, and in the remaining 2 stitches you're going to make one slip stitch in each. So one slip stitch and the second slip stitch. Now you're going to chain 9 again to make the second leaf. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now here too, starting from the second stitch from the hook, first you're going to make a slip stitch, then you're going to make one single crochet followed by one half double crochet followed by one double crochet in the next stitch, followed by one more double crochet in the next stitch, followed by a half double crochet, and next we will make a single crochet in the next stitch, and now we're going to make one slip stitch, and we're going to make one slip stitch into the base or the starting stitch as well, and then we'll make one more slip stitch into the same stitch in the orange coaster where we started making the leaf. After that we're going to chain 1 and pull the yarn tight to make a knot, and then trim off the yarn. So here the addition of the leaves is done. We just have to stitch in the tail yarn. So we're going to stitch in the tail yarn on the back side of the leaf. So we're going to turn our coaster and we're going to use a smaller crochet hook to stitch in the tail yarn. So just pull the tail yarn through few of the existing stitches of the leaf, and once you have pulled the yarn through few of the existing stitches and you feel that the yarn is secure, you can trim it off. You can use a dab of glue at the end of the yarn so that the yarn does not poke out of the pattern, and similarly for the other tail yarn also slip stitch through few of the existing stitches. And if you do not want to use a smaller crochet hook, you can very well use a needle. In that case, you have to leave a longer tail yarn, and using the needle you can stitch the tail yarn into the leaf. So here we are done with our addition of the leaves to the coasters. Now we'll move on to make the basket. To make the basket, I am using a hook of size 4.5 mm. We're going to start off by making a magic ring. So wrap the yarn around two fingers in this way, and now make a chain of one to hold this magic ring in place. You can now take the magic ring out of your hand, out of your fingers, and now into this magic ring we are going to make 8 single crochets. So this is the first single crochet, and every time we're going to mark the first stitch or the first single crochet of the round, so that we do not confuse to which stitch we need to slip stitch at the end of the round. So we are marking the first stitch, and now we're going to make 7 more single crochets into the same magic ring. So this is the second single crochet, the third single crochet, the fourth single crochet, the fifth single crochet, sixth and seventh, and the last or the eighth single crochet. Once the last single crochet is done, you can pull the tail yarn and close the magic ring. And now after removing the marker, you can slip stitch to the top of the first stitch. So here for every round the chain one does not count as a stitch. So here to after slip stitching we made a chain one, and into the same stitch we made a single crochet, and then we're going to mark this first stitch, and then into the same stitch we are going to make another single crochet, because the pattern for this round is to make an increase in each stitch. So you'll be making 2 single crochets in each of the stitches. So since in a previous round we had 8 single crochets, so by the end of this round you should have a total of 16 single crochets. So continue making 2 single crochets in each of this stitch until you reach the marked stitch. The whole point of having the marker in place is that we do not confuse the chain one with our first single crochet. If you do not have a marker, you can use a yarn of different color as well. You can have a small yarn and pull that yarn through the first stitch to mark it. So here too, at the end of the round, we are going to slip stitch to the top of the first stitch. We're going to chain one, and then we're going to make a first single crochet in this first stitch, and we are going to mark it as usual. And the pattern for this round is to make 1 single crochet in the first stitch and an increase in the second stitch. So in the second stitch make 2 single crochets, then into the next stitch make 1 single crochet, into the next stitch make 2 single crochets, into the next stitch make 1 single crochet, into the following stitch make 2 single crochets. So we'll be alternating between 1 single crochet in one stitch and an increase in the next stitch. So continue this till the end of the round, and once you reach the last stitch, you're going to slip stitch to the top of the first stitch. So remove the marker and slip stitch to the top of the first stitch, and then chain one. So for this round the pattern is to make 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the second stitch, and an increase in the third stitch. So make 2 single crochets in the third stitch. So I'll show once more. We're gonna make 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the second stitch, and an increase in the third stitch. So you're gonna repeat this pattern till you reach the marked stitch. The count that you should have at the end of the round is already mentioned in the captions. So we're going to now slip stitch to the top of the first stitch, and we're going to slip stitch and chain one. And as I said, the chain one does not count as a stitch. So into the same stitch we're going to make one single crochet. So this is round number 5. Mark the first stitch. So the pattern for this round is to make one single crochet in the first stitch, one single crochet in the second stitch, one single crochet in the third stitch, and an increase in the fourth stitch. So make 2 single crochets in the fourth stitch, and you're going to repeat this pattern till the end of this round. So you'll have a total of 20 single crochets by the end of this round. Continue making this pattern till you reach the first stitch. So here as you can see, it is kind of like we're increasing the stitches in every round, and now this is like we're making the base of the basket. Once we have the required circumference for the base, we will start increasing the height of the basket. So we're going to make 2 more rounds. So slip stitch to the top of the first stitch and chain one. Chain one does not count as a stitch, and into the same stitch make one single crochet. So the pattern for this round number 6 is to make one single crochet in the first stitch, which we just did, one single crochet into the second stitch, one single crochet into the third stitch, one single crochet into the fourth stitch, and an increase in the fifth stitch. So make 2 single crochets in the fifth stitch. We're going to repeat this pattern of making 4 single crochets in the first 4 stitches and then making an increase in the fifth stitch. By the end of this round you should have a total of 48 single crochets, and once you reach the last stitch you're going to, as usual, slip stitch to the top of the first stitch or the marked stitch, and you're going to chain one, and this slip stitch, chain one. This chain one does not count as a stitch, so into the same stitch make one single crochet. So this is the first single crochet. So the pattern for this round number 7 is one single crochet in the first stitch, one single crochet in the second stitch, one single crochet in the third stitch, one single crochet in the fourth stitch, and one single crochet in the fifth stitch, and an increase in the sixth stitch. So we're going to repeat this again. Into the first 5 stitches you're going to make one single crochet in each, and once you reach the sixth stitch you're going to make an increase. Going to repeat this pattern till the end of this round, and you should have a total of 56 single crochets by the end of this round. So this round will be the last round for the base, and now we're going to start increasing the height of the basket. So to do so we are not going to increase any more stitches after this round. So at the end of this round we are going to slip stitch, but here we're going to slip stitch to only the back loop of the first stitch. So every stitch has these 2 loops, and this is the back loop of the stitch. So we're going to slip stitch to the back loop of our first stitch, and then we're going to chain one, and into the same stitch we're going to make one single crochet. Now this is the first stitch of this round, so we're going to mark it using the marker, And now into the second stitch here too, we are going to use only the back loop. Make one single crochet. So the pattern for this round is to make one single crochet in each stitch, but we are going to use only the back loop for all the stitches. So continue making the stitches. We should have a total of 56 single crochets by the end of this round, because we are not increasing or decreasing the count. The count of the stitches is same as the previous round. Now after the end of this round, we are going to slip stitch to the top of the first stitch. Here we are going to use both the loops, so we're going to slip stitch to the entire stitch, and we're going to chain one and make a single crochet into the first stitch, and we're going to mark it. And the pattern for this round is pretty simple. We are just going to make one single crochet in each of the stitches. So by the end of this round, you should still have a total of 56 single crochets. And similar to this round, we are going to make 6 more rounds. So round number 8 to round number 14, we are just going to make one single crochet in each stitch. At the end of the round, we are just going to slip stitch to the first stitch, chain one, and start the same pattern. So by doing so, we are going to increase the height of the basket. So repeat this pattern for from round number 8 to round number 14, and you should have something like this, where you have increased the height of the basket. If you want the basket to be taller, you can add few more of these rounds. Now here I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first stitch. I'm going to chain one. So we're going to make the first single crochet in the first stitch. So this round we're going to make a decrease, so that the basket gets an oval shape, so that it looks like half an orange. So after the first stitch, we're going to make the second single crochet in the second stitch, the third single crochet in the third stitch, the fourth single crochet in the fourth stitch, the fifth single crochet in the fifth stitch, and then we're going to make a decrease. So to make a decrease, insert a hook into the first next stitch, and again insert it into the very next stitch. And when you have 3 loops in the hook, pull through all of them. So you decrease the stitch here. We're going to repeat this pattern of making 5 single crochets into the next 5 stitches, and 6th and 7th stitch we are just going to pull a loop through them, and we're going to make a decrease. So here, after making the single crochets, into the next stitch pull a loop, and into the very next stitch pull a loop. When you have 3 of them, pull through all 3 of them. So you made a decrease here. So repeat this pattern till the end of this round, and after the end of this round number 15, you should have a total of 48 single crochets. So this is the last round. As usual, we're going to slip stitch to the top of the first stitch, and we're going to chain one, and then we're going to make one single crochet in the same stitch. So the pattern for this round is to just make one single crochet in each stitch. It is pretty simple, and by the end of this round you should have a total of 48 single crochets. So just continue making one single crochets in each of the stitch until you reach the marked stitch. So continue this pattern and make one single crochets in each stitch. So once you have reached the end of this round, you're going to slip stitch to the top of the first stitch, and you're going to, after the slip stitch, chain one, pull the yarn tight to make a knot, and then trim off the extra yarn. So after this you can use a smaller crochet hook, or you can use a needle to stitch in the tail yarns. So one tail yarn you have at the end of this round, and one tail yarn you have at the which you had at the beginning of the round. So both the yarns you can stitch it in the inner side of the basket, and once you feel that the yarn is secure, you can trim off the excess yarn, and you can dab a bit of fabric glue to secure the yarn so that it does not come off later on. So once this basket is done and the coasters are done, you can spray stiffening spray to both the basket and the coasters so that they hold the shape better. And once this basket is ready, you can use it to hold the coasters in this manner, and you can place them in any pattern that you want, but this way I feel it displays the beautiful pattern of the coaster as well as the leaves very nicely. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Do subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications for new videos. Also give me a thumbs up if you found this video useful. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a very good day.